From our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aylia Batool. The International Criminal Court has rejected Israel's appeal to cancel arrest warrants for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This and more coming up on today's show, so stay tuned. Millions of Americans filled the streets this weekend in massive No Kings protests against President Donald Trump. Demonstrators accused Trump of acting like a monarch. The American Civil Liberties Union said more than 7 million people joined more than 2,500 rallies in all 50 states. Demonstrations called for the defense of democracy, free speech, and environmental rights. In Los Angeles, crowds danced and sang outside City Hall. Veteran Bob McCain, aged 101, said he marched because we have a constitution, not a king. 83-year-old Jill Landsberg said she protested to protect free speech and oppose the military's deployment in U.S. cities. In Washington, demonstrators gathered near the Capitol, raising a huge Palestinian flag. A man in a stormtrooper outfit carried a No Emperor sign, while another wearing a Trump mask held a toy crown and baby bottle. Senator Bernie Sanders and Chris Murphy joined the marches, warning against a slide into authoritarianism. The American Civil Liberties Union had urged protesters to act free and protect civil rights peacefully. In Chicago, clashes erupted as police used batons and tear gas to disperse crowds. But most rallies, including those in Detroit and New York, remained peaceful, united by one message: no kings, no dictators, only democracy. In Washington, the crowd grew outside the Capitol, where protesters unfurled a giant Palestinian flag linking global struggles for freedom. Organizers said rallies across 50 states and several European cities carried one clear message: no dictators, no kings, only democracy. The International Criminal Court has rejected Israel's appeal to cancel arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. The two are accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity in Gaza committed since October 2023. Under the Rome Statute, all 124 member states are obliged to arrest Netanyahu and Gallant if they enter their territory, though the court has no power to enforce arrests itself. The ICC ruled that Israel's appeal has no legal basis and said the matter was not open to appeal. Although Israel is not an ICC member, the court has jurisdiction over alleged crimes committed in Palestinian territories, which joined the ICC in 2015. The arrest warrants, which were issued in November 2024, were hailed by Palestinians as historic and condemned by Israel as anti-Semitic. The United States has imposed sanctions on ICC judges and prosecutors in retaliation. Israel carried out 100 airstrikes across Gaza on Sunday, killing at least 33 Palestinians and injuring dozens, according to Egyptian media. The government media office in Gaza said Israel has now killed 97 people and wounded 230 since the U.S.-brokered ceasefire began on October 10th. It accused Israel of violating the truce 80 times, including 21 breaches on Sunday alone. Even on Monday, witnesses reported heavy bombing in Gaza City, Khan Yunis, and Deir el-Balah, with artillery fire hitting homes and farmland. Israeli forces also shot several Palestinians in the Shijaya neighborhood, alleging that they posed a threat. President Donald Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, and son-in-law Jared Kushner have arrived in Israel. They are expected to discuss the ceasefire plan with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government. The Palestinian government holds the Israeli army fully responsible for the ceasefire breaches. It has called on the UN and guarantor parties to the agreement to urgently intervene to halt the violations. UN humanitarian coordinator Tom Fletcher says Gaza urgently needs heavy machinery to recover victims still trapped under rubble. Israel's genocide in Gaza has killed at least 68,159 people and wounded 170,203 since October 2023. Many more dead bodies are still lying under the debris. Israel reversed its decision to halt humanitarian aid to Gaza after pressure from Washington. Israel's Channel 12 reports that Tel Aviv has backtracked on its earlier order to suspend deliveries until further notice. An unnamed political official confirmed that Israel assured the U.S. it would reopen Gaza's crossings for aid on Monday. Earlier, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had ordered the suspension on military advice. Analysts say the reversal marks another instance of Washington's direct influence on Israel's Gaza policy amid its ongoing breaches of the U.S.-brokered ceasefire. U.S. negotiators have ruled out deploying American troops under its Gaza's disarmament plan. Jared Kushner, President Donald Trump's son-in-law and key Middle East negotiator, says the process will be led by an international stabilization force, not U.S. soldiers. Speaking on CBS's 60 Minutes, Kushner said the goal is to create an international force that will help build a local Palestinian government and police system to ensure Gaza stays secure. Asked if American troops might step in if Hamas refused to disarm, Kushner replied, "That's not the intent." He added that Trump remains fully committed to seeing the plan through, but wants regional and international partners to handle the disarmament phase. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff said the plan includes a weapons buyback program tied to amnesty and rejection of violence, calling any U.S. troop role highly unlikely. A U.S. court has barred Israeli spyware maker NSO Group from targeting WhatsApp users. The ruling came after Judge Phyllis Hamilton found the company caused irreparable harm to WhatsApp's owner, Meta. The court issued a permanent injunction stopping NSO from using its Pegasus spyware against WhatsApp users. Evidence showed that NSO repeatedly redesigned its software to bypass WhatsApp security. Pegasus allows remote surveillance of phones and has been accused of being used by governments to spy on journalists and activists. However, the judge reduced Meta's earlier $168 million damages award to $4 million, calling the original amount excessive. Hamilton says NSO's spyware violated privacy and undermined trust in encrypted messaging. WhatsApp head Will Cathcart hailed the decision, saying it ensures NSO can never again target users worldwide. NSO continues to claim that it sells spyware only to legitimate government agencies. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says he's cracking down on leftist ideologies in universities. Details coming up next.
My name is Layla. I was an average kid until Zula Inc. broke into my life because my dad discovered time travel. After that, everything changed.
You're the new girl Layla, right?
Whoa! What if I don't fit in?
Abdullah!
Do I hear my name?
Oh!
Welcome to Vancouver, cuz.
Whoa! Whoa!
You four have been specially chosen to take our project into the next generation.
You can time travel?
Abdullah! No! Abdullah! Where?
Do you really think I don't know why we had to leave Seattle, Baba?
Now here, keep these close. These should never leave your wrist.
This virtual reality game is crazy. You can even eat. This is reality, buddy. We zoomed through a wormhole.
Oh no! My Go Watch! It's gone!
What does this do?
freeze me. You know, the father of mathematics. It's because of him we have algorithms.
I will not stop until your legacy, everyone's legacy, lies in ruins. Of course it was you. You little rascals ruined everything.
Your fate will be great. Just don't give up.
Time Hoppers.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott says his state is cracking down on professors promoting what he claims are leftist ideologies. University of Texas professor Art Markman says he was dismissed from his administrative post in September over ideological differences. Abbott says professors should focus on preparing students to lead the nation, not on political agendas. Earlier this year, a Texas A&M professor was fired after conservative criticism of a lesson on gender and sexuality. That controversy led to the university president's resignation. Abbott's remarks come as the Trump administration pushes universities to sign a plan linking funding to ideological standards. Some universities have rejected the proposal, while the University of Texas says it is reviewing the offer. Starting in 2028, U.S. states that make too many mistakes in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, could lose federal funding. The government says states with error rates above 6% will have to pay up to 15% of SNAP costs themselves. SNAP, formerly called the Food Stamp Program, helps about 42 million Americans. But nationwide, the average error rate last year was 11%, almost double the new limit. Only 8 states, including Idaho, Utah, and Wisconsin, currently meet the 6% target. Alaska has the biggest problem with a 25% error rate, down from 60% the year before. Other states struggling include Florida, Georgia, New York, and Oregon. The Congressional Budget Office warns the new rule could cut food benefits for about 300,000 people and reduce child nutrition aid for nearly 100,000 kids. Observers say it could change SNAP completely. The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, is calling on social media giants to act against Indian groups that use AI and bot networks to spread Islamophobia online. The demand follows a new report issued by the Center for the Study of Organized Hate. It found more than 1,300 AI-generated images and videos promoting hatred against Muslims on Indian platforms. CAIR Deputy Executive Director Edward Ahmed Mitchell warns that fake campaigns like these already have led to real-world violence. The report notes that anti-Muslim content received more than 27 million engagements across Facebook, X, and Instagram. The posts included the sexualization of Muslim women, dehumanizing language, and conspiracy theories. The most popular category was sexualized depictions of Muslim women. That drew 6.7 million interactions, combining misogyny with anti-Muslim hate. The center warns that AI-fueled propaganda threatens minorities and erodes democracy in India. President Donald Trump has again attacked New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani, calling him a disaster waiting to happen. Trump accused Mamdani of being a communist who cannot be in charge of the great city of free enterprise. He also warned that it would be very tough for both Mamdani and New York. The comments came after a photo surfaced of Mamdani with Imam Siraj Wahaj, the Imam of At-Taqwa Mosque in Brooklyn, New York, and the leader of the Muslim Alliance in North America. Mamdani has defended the meeting, noting that Wahaj had also met former mayors Michael Bloomberg and Bill de Blasio and even campaigned with current mayor Eric Adams. Mamdani says the controversy arose only because of his Islamic faith and growing electoral success, adding that it became an issue only when I met him. The remarks mark the latest escalation in Trump's attacks on Mamdani as the heated New York mayoral race enters its final stretch. The election will take place on November 4th. The world has welcomed a ceasefire agreement between Pakistan and Afghanistan, reached in Qatar's capital Doha after days of escalating border clashes. The breakthrough came after marathon talks mediated by Qatar and Türkiye. Turkish intelligence chief Ibrahim Kalin played a key mediating role alongside Qatari officials. UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights in Afghanistan Richard Bennett called the ceasefire a much-needed step towards stability. Gulf Cooperation Council Secretary General Jassim al-Budawai also praised the constructive diplomacy of Qatar and Türkiye in helping the two neighbors reach a common ground. Pakistan's Defense Minister Khwaja Asif confirmed the deal, saying both sides agreed to respect each other's territory and halt all hostilities. He said delegations will reconvene in Istanbul on October 25th to finalize security mechanisms and ensure compliance. Afghan spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid said both parties pledged not to target security forces, civilians, or infrastructure. The Qatari Foreign Ministry said the accord aims to build lasting peace and trust. The ceasefire follows weeks of deadly skirmishes and rising tensions along the Durand Line, the border between the two countries. It has threatened regional trade routes and displaced villagers on both sides. South Africa's Vice President Paul Mishatil says critical minerals lie at the heart of Africa's industrial future. Speaking at the Türkiye-Africa Business Forum in Istanbul, Mishatil said the global contest for these resources is driven by geopolitical rivalry. He notes that Africa holds 30% of the world's mineral reserves, including most of its platinum and chromium, making it vital to the global energy transition. Mishatil said South Africa's G20 presidency is a historic chance to reshape global governance and promote the voice of the global South. He thanked Türkiye for supporting South Africa's leadership and said he looks forward to welcoming President Recep Tayyip Erdogan to the G20 summit in November. African Union Commissioner Francisca Balob says foreign investment is essential as Africa's trade grows fast. She highlighted the Africa-Türkiye trade jumped 8-fold in 2 decades, while overall foreign direct investment reached $97 billion last year. Scientists have developed the world's first antidote for carbon monoxide poisoning, a breakthrough that could save thousands of lives each year. The new treatment, created at the University of Maryland School of Medicine, removes the toxic gas from the blood within minutes. Current oxygen-based therapies can take hours and often leave survivors with lasting heart or brain damage. The antidote, called RCOM-HBD-CCC, is a protein that acts like a sponge, pulling carbon monoxide off red blood cells without disturbing oxygen or blood pressure. In lab tests on mice, the antidote cleared half the carbon monoxide in under a minute and was safely flushed out through urine. Carbon monoxide, often called the silent killer, causes about 1,500 deaths annually in the U.S. Researchers say this new protein could be used intravenously by doctors or even first responders in the field to stop poisoning before it turns fatal. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.